This is the 8th thing a virtual assistant can do for you in your business. Again, talked about Dispo. Today, I want to go back to some of the prospecting and I guess list building that your virtual assistant can do and should do for your business. Simply put, your virtual assistant can and should be virtually driving for dollars for your business every day, especially if you have people that are cold calling. We talked about they can cold call better than you. We've talked about they can do more on the follow-ups and the lead managing side better than you, right? What's one of the best uses of a virtual assistant time, especially if they're an admin VA, right? If they're doing admin tasks for you anyways, like they could easily virtually drive for dollars because it doesn't require them to get on the phone. Now, if you guys are like, oh my gosh, well, I can only have one VA, Matt, do you recommend this for one VA? Probably not, right? If I have one VA, I probably want to have them dialing a list and that is it, right? But if as I'm growing my team and I want to get that niche list that you only get from driving for dollars, one of the best tools you guys can use and you should be using is BatchDriven, right? If you don't know BatchDriven, you can use my code. It's batchdriven.com/launch. You get a free week and you get to try it out. It's simply, I don't know, it's pretty amazing. To be honest with you, like it was one of these softwares that kind of came out of necessity. I'll share my screen if you guys have never seen it. It's super cool. And I don't say that just because we use it. It's because, again, it came out of necessity for us. We realized that, this was back in the day. I was having to track everything when I was door knocking. I was having to track it on a spreadsheet. This kind of eliminates the need for all of that. I can go through, I can add properties, I can go look, you can see like TTP and all these other things. I was having to go through a spreadsheet, but like having to pull individual addresses. I was driving through neighborhoods looking for ugly properties, writing them down in notebooks, and then having to go back and skip trace. Literally, I can do all that within this app. You guys can see I can use Google Street View. I can pull the property owner right then and there on the app. I can skip trace it on the app. I can call them on the app. So super duper powerful tool. I personally love to use it. It's batchdriven.com/launch. You get your first week for free to try it out. But again, your virtual assistant can use a tool like this. They can go through, because the thing about using a tool like this is that it is time staking, right? If you want to add people to your driving for dollar list, it takes time. It's either you got to sacrifice your time and go do it physically, which is awesome, or you have to sacrifice your time and do it virtually from your computer, right? But the cool thing about that, you can do it anywhere. But also, cool thing about that is because you can do it anywhere, you should outsource it to a virtual assistant that can use that as their time, right? So as they're doing admin tasks for your business, as they're helping you sort your data and do all these cool things, they can also use an app. They can be logged into BatchDriven. Hell, we have VAs that do this. We got, I can think of one last year. We made 50 grand on one of these deals, right? That one of our virtual assistants, virtually driving for dollars, found an ugly property using the app, skip traced them, and pushed it to our cold callers to give them a call, right? So if you have one VA, maybe they can spend half their time, which I recommend, half their time dialing and half the time adding people to the list, right? And again, if I had one VA, I would just have them cold calling and I would be using my time driving for dollars virtually. Okay. Now, to that end, if I had two VAs, right? Maybe someone's texting and do an admin task. Great. Guess what you can do? You can text, you can do admin tasks, and you can add 50 properties for me a day using BatchDriven, building up our driving for dollar list, right? So that way, that list that you're building up is keeping our cold caller busy, and that's a super duper niche campaign, and it's amazing. Like those campaigns yield amazing results. The list is smaller, we can get through it more, and we get good results. So that's something you should delegate and you should hand off to your virtual assistant. I highly recommend them. The key metric there for this position, guys, is 50 properties a day, 250 properties for the week. Okay, if they can add 250 properties for the week using a tool like BatchDriven, like amazing. That is a great list. By the end of the month, you have 1,000 properties on that list that you can get through over and over and over and over. And it's happening without you having to physically do it. Because look, I would love to have the time to add properties driving for dollars. Like that's what I loved to do when I first got into this. As I was door knocking, I was driving for dollars and it was just fun doing it. But I just don't have the time to do it. And I understand and I see the rewards of having a niche list like driving for dollars. We can get through it many a times, and the likelihood when someone answers their phone, if I have the right person, there's a good chance that selling their property for cash will solve whatever problem they have. right? So these people are distressed. They are unable to take care of their property. If you can come in and solve their problems, not just by buying the property, but you can go in and solve their problems. Look, these are amazing, amazing opportunities that aren't on anyone else's list. Like the challenge with, any other list, like the greatest list out there for real estate investing is the ones that just take a little bit more effort to build, right? The ones that you used to have to go down to the county to get county records, or the ones that are a little bit more expensive to get the newly inherited properties. Like those lists are great, but one of the best ones that you guys have access to without spending a bunch of money using some of these services is something like this. That you need to use your time. You add ugly properties to your list. You can skip trace them all within the same app, and you can put your virtual assistant that's cold calling in a good position. As they're calling through, someone answers. Amazing. Those are typically pretty hot leads. And this is what I would call tier 4 data. So tier 4 data, we hit them from all angles, right? We cold call them, we text them, we send them direct mail. We even will go out and knock on their doors. Like we will hit the tier 4s from all angles, and we build niche lists using this, but not me. My virtual assistant does it. His shift is very simple. He comes in, he dials the first part of his shift, second half of his shift, he adds properties to the list. Now, for some of you guys who are like, okay, well, I just want to have someone dedicated to that, I highly recommend, if you're going to have a 2 VA system, one cold calling, one running your text, and driving for dollars and doing your admin task. Both of them stay super busy and your business stays efficient. That's a good 1-2 combo. Okay. But ultimately, this is getting done without your time. And this is a really great list that, hey, if someone answers, it's going to be pretty good opportunity that something could come from it. So that is what I recommend. That is the 8th thing that your virtual assistant can do for your business, that should be doing for your business, is adding properties, driving for dollars. Don't sleep on this list. Don't sleep on it. These are like high quality lists. Like some people pay tremendous amount of money just for driving for dollar leads. So guys, this could be the foundation for your business as you're just going out, and maybe you're just going for pre-foreclosures and divorce leads and tax liens and all these like niche, super duper distressed lists. Driving for dollars should be a foundation to that, right? Not just adding any property, but adding property that have multiple issues, right? The lawn needs, the lawn care is just crazy. Weeds everywhere. In Phoenix, that means it's raining and no one's taking care of the yard. It never rains here. So if you see a lot of weeds, people don't care, right? You have, if it needs painting, or if the windows are broken, or if the roof, right? You need things that have multiple issues. Adding that niche stuff allows you and your virtual assistant to be super efficient as they go through the data. They're going to call through it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. They can get through it, and that consistency puts you in a position to win. So that is something you should outsource to your virtual assistant as soon as you can.